This studio vlog is brought to you by our friends over at Skillshare. I will definitely be covering more about what I'm learning on the platform this month, but without further ado, let's jump into the vlog. Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Sheena and I'm an illustrator and content creator based in New York City. Now I know it's been a little bit over 2 weeks. I'm sure you can hear it from my voice. I am sick. I am not doing as well as I'd like to, but I'm feeling a lot better than I have been. But as you can see from the footage here, we are working on holiday prototypes. I started these around the beginning of November because unfortunately I fell behind with losing decode and all these things going on. And I still wanted to have an official holiday launch for Brooklyn Post because I had a lot of old and stale product and wanted something fresh. So what I'm doing here is actually working on a Notepad prototype. It's the first time I've ever tried to carry notepads. It was very stressful, but you will see the rest of that through this video and like all the L's that I took to make this happen. Now, if you're watching this vlog, the launch has already happened. It is live. I have notepads, an assortment of greeting cards, new gift wrapping paper. So grab them while you still can. Everything is limited edition, and once it's gone, it's gone. So I will be sure to link it below. And thank you all so much for supporting a small Black business during this time, during this season, because this can be a very trying season for business owners. So here is the official prototype that I made. I think it's so important to cut the actual prototype out and hold it in your hand so you know what you're working with. So I am working with a 5x7 notepad size. Even though you see the company 48-hour print, that is not who I'm working with for this particular order. I just already had their template on hand, so I'm just reusing it. So it is the next day and I'm actually working on a new prototype for a greeting card. I did have 2 older greeting card designs that I relaunched for this particular holiday season, but I also made like 3 brand new designs that I'm super happy with. This one is like a campfire / s'mores type of punny card, and it basically says on the inside, looking to s'more amazing moments with you. And I thought it was really cute. I kind of came up with it on a whim, and I don't know about you all, but I'm all about inclusivity, and I didn't want to just make cards that were centered around Christmas or Kwanzaa. Like, I wanted people to have a neutral card to just say, I miss you this holiday season. I hope you're doing well. So this is definitely one of my favorites. So now that the design and illustration portion is done, I have to now make these into cards. This process can take me a really long time. I don't know why. So I'm actually gonna go over to my phone and use one of my favorite apps. It's the Forest app, and it's gonna help me stay focused for at least the next 25 minutes to a half hour to get these done. So I do all of my templates in Photoshop just because they have the best alignment tools. It's really easy to transform and move things around. And so that is what I'm doing. I make all of my greeting cards at home. So what I'll actually do is align it to fit on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of like really high quality cardstock. And then I'm able to fit 2 cards onto 1 sheet, which is pretty awesome. You're talking about a lot of savings, super quick and efficient way of doing things. And shout out to my girl Andrea for putting me onto this, but that's what I'm doing right now, is getting everything aligned. If you are signed up for my Patreon, I actually gave you all this template for free this month. So go ahead and check it out on the feed, but hopefully it helps you in your card creating process, because one of the most annoying parts is getting everything perfectly aligned on the paper the first time. So here I'm just showing you all of the prototypes that I had to go through to make this particular card happen. I don't always use cardstock to do my prototypes. I do them on regular printer paper, and then once I have it down, I print it on cardstock. So here I am just kind of putting it together. I think I have finally got a prototype that works. Everything is centered, bright and beautiful, and this is the finished product. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the vlog. Please excuse the way that I'm looking right now because I had no intentions of being on camera today. I literally did like a Chuck Norris roll out of the bed and got straight to work. However, I was sitting here and I got an alert that my notepads are finally here. They are downstairs. So I just threw on whatever I can find and I'm gonna go run downstairs to grab them. You guys have no idea the level of anxiety I've had the last 2 days waiting for it to get here because I just want them to look nice. Like, I'm low-key worried. So I'm going to run downstairs as fast as I can, bring them back up and show them to y'all, and fingers crossed they do not look jacked up. Life of a shop owner. I'll be back. All right, everyone. I'm so out of breath. We're back. This is a moment of truth. Oh my God, I'm so scared. This is a moment of truth. This box is at least 20 pounds, so it's quite a bit of product. This is probably the most amount of money I've spent on product, on new product, and from a company that I've never tried before. So let's just do it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Okay, come on, Sheena. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Okay, I don't know how I feel about this. I literally, oh my God. So starting off, they don't really have them enclosed. So I took out like one of the notepads just now and saw that, like, oh my gosh, I'm like really freaking out, y'all. Like, look how this one, hold on, turn down the brightness. This one kind of looks like mangled and damaged, and not to mention this backing piece just feels so freaking thin. Oh my God. I mean, the colors are okay, but I don't think I'm happy with these. Here's another design. Again, the colors are vibrant, but like, yeah, it just, look at this. And like, I'll show y'all an example. So like, this is Andrea's, right, that I bought from her shop, and they have this cardboard that's just a little bit thicker. Like, maybe I'm being picky. It just feels so thin compared to this. Like, I don't know. Here are some more of them. This was the brownstone idea that I had. And again, like, the colors are great. I just don't know how I feel about the overall quality. And then finally, this one, once again, like, if you guys see with all of them, it just seems like they left a border when I made it very clear that I did not want a border. So like, this is like the main reason why I tell y'all I don't like mentioning companies on my channel, because one thing people don't understand is like, I'm never going to go back and delete vlogs that I put hours into, that I've gotten engagement on. And so when I mention a brand and they don't do me right, then their name is still mentioned in my vlog years and years to come. So like, y'all, oh my God, I waited so long for these. I don't know how I feel, to be honest. Like, I need to call my work wife. I need to call Andrea because I'm literally freaking out. So I guess I will be back once I figure out what I'm doing and once I'm in contact with this company. But like, yeah, I can't say that I'll be using them again. But let me just start freaking out and figure this out, and I will check back in. So this is a few days later after the catastrophe with the notepads, and I kind of need to get everything together. But before I get into that, let's take a moment to thank our video sponsors over at Skillshare. For those of you who have been on this channel for some time, you know I have collaborated with this brand for over 3 years because I really do believe in everything they're about. For those of you that have maybe never heard of Skillshare, they're basically an online learning platform with thousands of curated classes made to unlock the creative in every single one of us. They have classes ranging from interior design, entrepreneurship, productivity, illustration, and so much more. Skillshare has something for everyone, literally. So one of the classes that I'm really focusing in on this month that I am just loving, like I may actually watch it a second time, is the class by Tom Froese, which is all about being a one palette illustrator. And you all know that as an an illustrator, I'm all about color, detail. That is my thing. But I've really been struggling with becoming a well-known artist, very niche down to where my work is recognizable anywhere. And I think Tom's class is going to help me finally become a very purposeful and curated illustrator by getting down to one palette for a while. So I'm going to go through that journey. You all will be able to see it, but there is just so much packed into this class. Like, you have to see it for yourself. So whether you're starting on a new journey or freshening up on skills you already have, Skillshare is literally jam-packed with high quality, ad-free classes made to empower you along the way. So the team at Skillshare has partnered with me once again to give the first 1,000 people who use the link in my description box 1 month free trial of Skillshare Premium to check out for themselves. So again, that unique link will be in my description box where you can join millions of creatives learning on Skillshare today. All right, so again, we're back in the studio. I'm just cleaning up and getting caught up with orders. To be honest, after that Notepad fiasco, I just literally took 2 mental days just to figure out what I was doing, make some phone calls to the company and try to get something arranged, because this literally set me back. And I don't know about you all, but sometimes I get such a defeated feeling that it can be hard to jump back into what I was doing. And so I just kind of have to pivot for a while so that I don't just stress and like catastrophize what's going on. So anyway, packing up some orders, and I did end up having a conversation with the company, and I got the owner to agree to resend the order. I did have to come out of pocket again. So let's just say I have learned a lot from this process and how I move forward with future launches, but it was just so stressful, you all. Like, I really feel like I've wasted hundreds of dollars, but you live and you learn. As I always say, you have to spend money to make money. And sometimes when you're an entrepreneur and you don't have all the tools and all of the answers in front of you, you have to waste money to learn. So this is one of those scenarios, and I hope you all appreciate me sharing it to just show you all the reality of what this looks like. All right, hey everyone, so welcome back to the vlog. It's a few days later and I wanted to kind of come back on and give you guys context for what happened last time. So I was just like vlogging a first reaction to opening up the new notepads that I ordered. You all know that I've been working on prototypes, and this was like my first time not only doing notepads but also working with a company that I had not worked with before. And unfortunately, taking those 2 risks did not work out for me. So I ended up getting the notepads, and while the quality of the prints is like on point, unfortunately the actual bleed lines were not correct, and I didn't like the overall quality of like the backing board that was on it. So there was a lot to work through, and I think in the moment I was just like so overwhelmed that I didn't want to go through all those emotions on camera. So I ended up like calling Andrea and like literally crying, like, what do I do? What do I do? I have like over 100 and something notepads in this box that I can't use, and we kind of went back and forth on whether or not I would like do seconds or just launch them the way that they were. But to be completely honest with you all, like, I am a perfectionist. Like, I literally struggle through life because I am such a perfectionist. And even though sometimes you guys just let things go and just post what you have, go with what you have, when it came to these particular notepads, it was my first time introducing them to the shop, and I really did not want this to be like, this was not the impression that I wanted to put out there to the world, almost saying like, this is acceptable, like this is a quality that I would be okay with, because it wasn't. So I ended up having to speak to the company's president, which was like great. I appreciate that it was escalated up to him and I actually got a solution, but we ended up getting on the phone. There was a bit of like negotiating back and forth to get this to work. So needless to say, I did 4 designs. I got a box full of notepads, and every single one of them had this white border because there was no bleed. And so I will show you all what that looks like. So I was kind of going back and forth with Andrea and her husband and just trying to figure out, like, is this something that I can still launch and put up in the shop? And I decided that it wasn't. I know most of you may look at this and think like, oh, it's fine, Sheena, just put it up. No one's gonna notice, but I notice. And once again, I don't wanna do a new product line and put this out as like almost like a standard that I'm okay with, because I'm not. Like, the design is meant to go edge to edge. I ended up just covering the cost of getting them reshipped, and he's gonna take care of the actual production. Now, the new ones are not here yet. They're supposed to be here by Tuesday. So I'm really crossing my fingers that I get those on time, because to be completely honest, if they come after Black Friday, in my opinion, they're almost like not even worth going into the launch, because we have to think reasonably. People are not going to be gifting things like this. They're going to be using them for themselves or buying them and like giving them to a friend, like one for me and one for you. So I didn't want it to be a thing where I was selling them like in mid-December for people to be using them in January when they're obviously Christmas themed, right? So that's what happened with that. That's why y'all kind of saw me disappear and then I didn't come back, because I wanted to make sure that I had a resolve and not just like come on camera crying, because then that would just kind of seem crazy. So we live in a building and they're doing like a donation drive, like almost like a neighbor swap kind of thing. That's actually where I got this ring light. Like, one of our neighbors didn't want it anymore, so I took it. But I had Dustin help me take them downstairs, and I'm gonna give them away to our neighbors, and I'm hoping that they can use it themselves or give it to their children, because I just didn't want to trash them. Like, that's being wasteful. And I think that's what affected me the most, was like, imagine trashing over 100 of these units. It's just so wasteful. And so I decided instead to donate them. So those are basically the updates on those items. Besides that, I haven't outsourced anything else. I do have my greeting cards, but I'm making those completely at home. And then today just really like a maintenance admin day where I just want to get things updated and refreshed. And I figured I would take you all through that process, because even though it can be kind of boring, like, I don't want to leave that stuff out. It is part of the business. So I hope you all enjoy just seeing a bit more insight on when things go wrong, how you can handle it, a little bit of behind the scenes of outsourcing product. I just try to be as honest as I can on here to just humanize this whole experience and remind you all that, like, we all have lows, we all make mistakes, and there are ways to overcome it. That's part of being a business owner, is having that resilience, right? And not giving up. So even though I had to go to a corner and like cry and freak out for a moment, I ended up figuring out what to do. And hopefully in a few days, I get some beautiful product that I can put in my shop, and hopefully it sells. Finally, before I go clean up and do everything, I did want to mention that yesterday I finally met Andrea. So a lot of you don't know, but like, I have never met Andrea, aka Coco Michelle Illustrations, in person, but we have been friends and talking on the internet for like 2.5 years. It's really insane how this whole thing works, right? But we met online. She did a consult with me. We ended up talking basically every day on Instagram. We exchanged phone numbers, and that went from like a couple of phone calls to FaceTime to we talk almost every single day. And she happened to be in town. She hit me up, and so we met up at like a nice restaurant in the East Village. We had some drinks, had some pasta, and we also had another artist friend, Stormy, come by, and she was able to sit down with us for like an hour and eat and catch up and just like vent about things that we feel about the art industry and being creators. And it just kind of reminded me how important it is to have those art friends to bounce things off of, because no matter how much your spouse supports you, your mom, your brother or sister, colleagues, if they're not in this industry, it can be so hard to understand. Like, why are you crying over notepads? And it's like, oh my God, do you not realize how big this is, right? So I don't sound crazy in front of people like Andrea or Stormy, because they get it. So I'm hoping that me coming online and like sharing these experiences can make you feel like you're not alone, that you have an art friend who's also going through all of this. But it's also super important to find those people that you can really trust, that are close confidants, for when things go wrong. You can pick up a phone and just kind of like have them lend you an ear. So it was so nice to finally meet her. It was like we had met already because we talk every single day. So when I finally saw her, it was just like normal. We came back to the apartment. We did an IG live session to show everyone that we met, a little Q&A, and then we just like chilled and talked. Her husband came over. I let her have like a piece of my plant baby, and it was just really amazing. So I'm hoping that she'll come back soon, but if not, then I'll be going upstate to visit her. But it was just so dope, and like I'm glad that I like went and met her and follow through, because I do have anxiety sometimes meeting people. Even though it seems like I'm a super extrovert because I'm here like talking to a camera all the time, that's the thing, it's just a camera. It's not a room full of people, you know what I mean? Or it's not another person. So the anxiety quickly went away after we just like started talking and having a glass of wine, and it just felt normal. So I want to share that, but I really do need to go get this situated. So we're gonna do some maintenance, we're gonna swap out some blades, we're gonna print some product, and I hope you all enjoy it. So let's get started. So for those of you that have been on this channel for some time, you remember this fleece. You remember it. We've done some great things in this fleece. So I'm hoping putting it back on will give me that jolt of energy that I need to really get some stuff done today. So the first thing we're gonna do is swap out these raggedy Cricut mats that I've had for a while. Like, yes, you can wash them, you can put a lint roll over them, you can do all types of things, but at a certain point they just don't have the same like stickiness, the same grip that they used to have, and it just drags your stickers all over the mat, which is wasting money. So I'm gonna get rid of the old ones, pop these new ones over there, and then also do a couple of like test cuts to make sure everything is good. I actually also got some new Cricut blades. So new Cricut blades, I got these from Amazon, and once again, like, you can try to use them for as long as you possibly can, but once they go dull, they just rip through the sticker paper, they drag your stuff all over the mat. So with this new combo of updated materials, I'm hoping for some really like seamless sticker cuts, die cuts, and stop ruining sticker paper. So I'm gonna go swap those out now. I think I'm gonna do the blades in both of them just to like start them at the same time, so when it's time to swap, it's not super confusing. So new blades, new mats, let's go. Okay, so if you all are seeing this footage and you've made it to the end of the vlog, thank you so much for choosing to watch and continue to support me. I'm sorry that I sound so sick, but like I'm starting to feel better. We're on the up and up. And again, if you're seeing this content, my holiday launch is already happening. This gift wrapping paper is up on my Etsy. So are all the notepads and greeting cards. So be sure to check those out and shop small this season because it means so much to us as small shop owners. Every time you place an order, I'm the one packing it. I'm the one signing the art prints. Like, it really does mean a lot when you make that choice. So thank you all so much. And again, that link for Skillshare will be below. The class is by Tom Froze and it is called One Palette Illustrator. So I hope you all are able to check that out too and let me know what you think. But I really, really appreciate you all watching. The next vlog is already being edited and I'm gonna have that out fairly soon. So be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content and if it's helpful at all. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.